Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Memphis Junior Senior High School. My name is Matt Carafa. I'm the principal of Memphis Junior Senior High School. Today we're here for coffee with the principal. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Adam Rickard. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Adam is the voice of Memphis basketball, and he's here today to help us out as we go through our monthly newsletter, talk about some relevant issues related to Memphis Junior Senior High School, have a few special guests here and there, and hopefully end up with some audience participation. And now, everybody, it's time for Coffee with the Principal. What's new at the Hive? Well, here are some important events I want to talk to you about and let you know you might be interested in these. First of all, from February 14th through February 17th is midwinter break. There's no school for Memphis students. On Friday, February 21st, it's Pasta-Palooza from 5 to 8 p.m. here at Memphis to benefit our music program. On Tuesday, February 25th, is the project graduation meeting to plan for our senior class. And on Wednesday, February 26th, is spring conferences at Memphis from 5 to 7 p.m.
We've enjoyed some great basketball this winter, and we have a couple more games left for both our varsity, junior varsity, and our girls teams. Each night has a specific theme night. When our girls play Marlette on Thursday, February 13th, and when our boys play Marlette on Friday, February 14th, it's a pink out night in honor of Valentine's Day and to support breast cancer fundraising. The next game is Friday, February 21st. It's blackout night for the junior varsity and varsity boys basketball. And on March 3rd, the final game of the season, it is neon night. So make sure you come out and support your Yellow Jackets at that time. Our first guest is our Memphis Police Liaison Officer, Sean Gunnery.
Good morning.
Officer Gunnery, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Hey, glad to be here.
Officer Gunnery, you've been at Memphis how long now?
Come up on 1 year.
1 year in Memphis. And so talk me back through this really quick. How long have you been in public service?
Oh, about coming up on 29 years. Worked as a police officer, a firefighter, and a paramedic. So.
Okay, and you've worked in different situations, in cities, in rural areas, in urban areas. What's the contrast, I guess, between Memphis and some of the other places you've worked?
That's a great question. Well, I started in Detroit, which is obviously a major city with, you see a lot of everything. Out here it's a little bit quieter, but once in a while you get caught off guard and you got to respond to, certain things that you just don't see very often.
Officer Gunnery is our liaison officer here at Memphis, and there's something very special coming up I want to talk to you about. And tell me if I get this right, the Augmented Reality Distracted Driving Educational Simulator.
Yep, that would be correct. Yes.
All right, that's coming to Memphis on March 3rd. It's a presentation for our students that's put on by the Peers Foundation. Tell us a little bit more about that ARDDES program.
Yeah, it's basically guided to teach kids that, the text message can wait, because every day you see on the news, you see these terrible wrecks, and it's due to somebody looking down like this instead of looking ahead of the roadway. And, innocent lives are being lost all over trying to send a message that can wait till you're at a traffic light or you're parked. We're just trying to get that message through that, texting and driving, it's a very dangerous thing to do. Safety is always first.
One last question for you today, Mr. Officer Gunnery. What's the thing that you like most about being here at Memphis?
Just kind of working with the students, and some of them are very shy. Try and bring them out of their shell a little bit and build a little bit of confidence in them. And other kids, just try and keep them on the straight and narrow. They might not understand that certain things they're not supposed to be doing. So I try and guide them through the school year, and so far so good.
Actually, I do have one more question, Mr. Rickard. You reminded me of this earlier. You've met a lot of famous people in your time.
Yes.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
Well, I've met 2 U.S. presidents.
Okay.
Bill Clinton and George Bush Sr.
Tell me about Bill Clinton.
Oh, boy. Well, there was a big luncheon down at Cobo Center.
Cobo Center. Okay.
And my friend said, hey, we're both off this day. Let's throw a suit on and go down there. And walked into Cobo Center, and before we could even gather ourselves, the gentleman walked up and asked us, are you here for the Clinton Gore fundraiser? I'm like, yes. So he said, okay, up the escalator to the right. Up the escalator, walked down to the right, and walked to the metal detector and listened to him speak. And we were able to meet him at the end, do a photo op, and Yeah, kind of surreal.
Very, very, very prestigious guest there, President of the United States.
Yeah, sitting president.
And you bet too.
Yeah, and yeah, Bush Senior at the Ryder Cup. We're at the Ryder Cup, and he just happened to go walk by with Secret Service, and
Nice.
no photo, but it's kind of neat to meet him.
How does that compare to being on Coffee with the Principal today?
Oh wow, Carafa, Bush. I mean, you know,
It's big, I know,
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Officer Gunnery, for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We look forward to your continued service here at Memphis, in not only the school but in the community as well.
Thanks very much.
Our next guest is our high school student of the month for January, Miss Chloe LeBeau.
Chloe, welcome to Coffee with the Principal. How are you this morning?
Good.
Chloe, what grade are you in?
I'm in 11th grade.
11th grade, so you're a junior here at Memphis. Chloe, tell me, what is your favorite subject here at Memphis?
English.
English. Tell me why English is your favorite.
I like writing, and I don't know, I feel like I can excel in English, so.
You like writing. What's your favorite thing to write about? Do you write stories? Do you write about...
I like writing essays.
Essays? You like
if
writing
I get,
essays?
Yeah, if I get like a good topic, I could write a good essay.
Mr. Rickard, do you hear this?
I'm on the same page as that.
Same page.
That was always something I liked to do. It was
Writing essays.
Right.
Mr. Rickard, you're the English teacher as well here. You're an
Yep.
English teacher here as well. Do you have Chloe in any of your classes?
I do not have Chloe in any of my classes, no.
Chloe, tell me something else. You're a student at Memphis. How long have you been going to Memphis schools?
Since kindergarten.
Since kindergarten?
Yeah.
Till 11th grade. You plan on being here as a senior?
Yeah.
We hope. Thank you. Awesome. What's your most vivid memory, your best memory of your time here at Memphis so far as a student, from kindergarten till now?
Probably just making the friends that I have because I've had them since kindergarten, so.
Same group of friends
Yep.
since kindergarten, and that's what's so special about Memphis Community is our students. A lot of our students have the same group from kindergarten through they graduate. Chloe, you're going to graduate next year, correct?
Yep.
What are your plans for the future?
I want to go to college to be an English teacher.
An English teacher?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What school are you now thinking about?
I like Wayne State. That's what I'm looking at.
Good
the
school,
most.
good school.
Yeah.
I went to Wayne State, very good school for everybody out there. Mr. Rickard, Michigan State, correct?
Correct.
Another very good school. So you want to go to Wayne State to become a teacher.
Yep.
Who has been your biggest influence here as a teacher on you at Memphis?
Well, there's two. Probably Miss Janota. She doesn't teach her anymore.
Okay, Miss Janota.
And Mrs. Bolesky.
Mrs. Bolesky. Can you tell me why Mrs. Bolesky has been an influence on you?
Well, she was a really good English teacher. You know, she helps me with that, and she's always like there if I need someone to talk to.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Chloe, once again on being our Student of the Month.
Thank you.
High School Student of the Month for January. Chloe LeBeau.
Next up is our junior high student of the month for January, Mr. Dale Eschenberg.
Dale, how you doing today?
Good.
You look pretty excited to be here. Are you excited?
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you on Coffee with the Principal. Dale, what grade are you in?
7.
7th grade. And how long have you been attending Memphis schools?
Since the 1st grade.
Since 1st grade, so 1st through 7th grade. It's a long time.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Dale, your favorite subject, talk to me about it. What is your favorite subject here at Memphis?
Probably math because it's the easiest for me.
The easiest. You hear that,
Yeah.
Mr. Rickard? Math is the easiest.
I don't agree with that.
I don't hear that often. I don't hear that often, but I'm glad that you find it easy. Dale, you're also a member of the basketball team, correct?
Mhm.
What team do you play on?
Memphis.
Memphis 7th grade basketball team.
Yeah.
What position do you play?
I move around a lot and don't really stick with one position.
You're a tall guy.
Yeah.
So center, maybe the 4 or 5, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Rickard, have you had a chance to see him out there on the court, see what he's up to out there?
I haven't been able to catch the middle school games yet, but I know that there are a couple coming up in the next few weeks, and I definitely plan on getting there and seeing some of my old computer and gym students in there.
Yeah. So you had Mr. Rickard for computers.
I didn't have him.
Oh, you didn't have it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about teachers then really quick. Your favorite teacher. Who's your favorite teacher, the one that had the biggest impact on you since you've been at Memphis? This can be from 1st grade all the way through 7th grade.
Back in 3rd grade, I had Miss Keller
Miss
as a teacher, and I always thought she was the funniest.
What was it? She was the funniest? She just came in every day and just made you guys laugh. And
Yeah.
how much did you learn better that way? Was it just a fun year for you? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly just fun.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from her, as of every teacher, but
Sure.
she was just probably the one that stuck out to me the most.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're only in 7th grade. You got a long way to go, right? But it'll be here before you know it. what are you thinking about as the future holds for you as a profession, something you're going to strive to become?
I want to become more of an engineer,
Okay.
more than anything, because I like being more hands-on with a lot of
Gotcha.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that's probably just what mostly sticks out.
That sounds cool to me. Now, any thoughts on any schools? I know, again, it's still early. Any engineering schools that interest you that you might want to get to?
I haven't really been looking into it, but probably something in the community, like
Maybe SC4 or
Yeah.
one of our colleges, Saginaw Valley State, something like that. Okay.
probably.
Well, Dale, I appreciate you being here. Congratulations once again on being the Junior High Student of the Month. Everybody, Dale Eschenberg.
Next up is our staff spotlight member for this month. It's the newest member of the Memphis staff, social worker Miss Maura McCartan-Young.
Every month in our newsletter, we like to feature a new staff member. And as Mr. Rickert just told you, our feature staff spotlight this month is Miss Maura McCartan-Young. Miss Maura, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Is that okay? How should we address you here on Memphis? Do you want us to call you Miss Maura, Miss McCartan-Young,
Yeah.
Miss Young, MCY? What do you want?
We'll see why it is. No, yeah, most of the time the kids call me Miss Maura. It's
Okay.
just something that I've always done, and it's just stuck.
Okay, perfect. So Miss Maura, welcome to Coffee with the Principal.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here at Memphis. I want to go through kind of the rundown. We in our staff spotlight, we like to kind of put the grill to you a little bit and ask you a lot of questions. We like to do some rapid fire
I'm ready.
to learn a little bit more about you. So,
Okay.
college or university? Where'd you study?
Well, I actually went to both Michigan and Michigan State,
Wow.
so I don't really have an affiliation one way or the other. All I can say is whenever I was at each school, the football team was terrible.
Terrible.
So I'm not good
you
luck for
can't-
that.
oh, wow.
Can you go back to Michigan?
Yeah, Mr. Rickert, of course, Michigan State alum over there, and I think he's, as many Michigan State fans are wondering who's going to be the next coach. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it even matters to you at this point.
Well, probably I shouldn't pick.
You probably should. Okay, gotcha. Well, we won't have you do that. Your job title. So your job title here at Memphis is social worker.
Yes.
But tell me about the past. What have you done before? How long have you been in the game? I mean, how long has it been?
Wow, gosh. So I've worked as a social worker for quite some time. I started back in 2001, so
Okay.
it's been quite a while.
Okay.
I've worked with all different groups of people, everybody from really little kids, infants and toddlers, all the way up through adults. But my favorite group of people to work with has been teenagers and
Okay.
adolescents. So this is a perfect fit for me.
We have plenty of those here.
Yeah.
Plenty for you to work with, I guess we could say. Tell me about your favorite food to eat in the world.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I think in the newsletter I said omelets because I wanted to say something that, was not too controversial. But I love
Omelet is not controversial at all. Depends on what you have inside the omelet. Though. That's the
No, honestly, I'm not very picky. I love lots of different foods. My mom is from Greece, and
Okay.
so I like a lot of Greek food
Very
from
good.
her cooking. She's
Very
really
good.
good.
I do. That is good for me too. Tell me, why Memphis? Why did you choose Memphis? Now that you're here, what do you see? Tell me.
I really enjoy Memphis. Actually, it's kind of ironic because before I even was officially a social worker, when I was in college, my summer job, I was a camp counselor here in Memphis. There was a
Wow.
program a long time ago called Camp Girl Power.
Okay.
And so I did that for about 4 years, and I loved it, and that's how I sort of got to know Memphis, and I'm so excited to be back. It's such a tight-knit group of people and just a very warm and welcoming atmosphere.
That's amazing how things come full circle like that.
Yes.
You're a camp counselor and now you're working here in the schools with the
Yeah,
same,
I know.
the kids. And maybe some of our students were some of your students back when you were a counselor.
Exactly, I know. It's funny
Wow.
how that works.
That is interesting. Tell me a little fun fact about yourself. Something that, besides the omelet thing, something we wouldn't know about.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have a dog.
Okay.
His name is Arlo.
Arlo.
And he's very quirky and he looks like a Muppet.
Okay.
He has his own Instagram, which I
Oh,
won't shout out
wow,
because that'd be
okay.
kind of embarrassing. But yeah, he's such a ham and I just love him.
So tell me something he's done that led to the Instagram. I mean, most dogs don't have their own Instagram page. Mr. Rickert, do you have any pets with Instagram pages? or
I
anything?
have a few pets, but I don't have Instagram.
No Instagrams for them. Do you have your own Instagram, Mr. Rickert?
I don't.
He doesn't. So it's interesting when a dog has it. So what has he done to get that kind of?
He's just a ridiculous creature. Like he will do things that I I wouldn't think possible for a dog. One of his favorite things to do is he actually taught himself how to, we can roll the ball back and forth.
Oh.
He'll actually pick it up and throw it back to
Wow.
me. Yeah,
Very nice. So he plays catch with you.
yeah,
Wow.
I didn't teach him that. He's wild. I
Wow.
know, it's unbelievable to me.
That sounds pretty amazing. Ms. Mora, we are so happy to have you here in Memphis. Thank you for being here today on the show. We look forward to working with you a lot here in the future.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for being here.
I really appreciate the opportunity.
Everybody, Ms. Mora McCartney.
Our final guest is our assistant principal, Mr. Keith Corbett.
Mr. Corbett, welcome to Coffee with the Principal. How are you, sir?
Doing good. How about yourself, Mr. Graffin?
I'm doing excellent. Mr. Corbett and I work together on a daily basis, so we're kind of like the Batman and Robin over here of the school.
I'm Batman, right?
You are, yes,
Robin.
you are Batman. I am the Robin. Mr. Ricker could be our Alfred, I guess you could say. Mr.
Oh, I
Ricker,
was thinking more like the Joker.
the Joker? Okay, well, Joker, Alfred.
All right,
all those two. Okay, I like that. I like that. Mr. Corbett, again, is assistant principal here at the school, and he has a lot of interaction with our students and parents, so he's got a lot of information he likes to get out there, just so we're, we're aware and on top of some of the issues that may be coming up here at Memphis School. So, Mr. Corbett, before we get into those things, though, I want to talk to you a little about you. How long have you been here at Memphis now?
Well, this is my second year here at Memphis. First year went pretty well, and the second year I'm feeling it's going even better.
You came back. You decided to come back.
Yep,
No, no,
exactly.
good.
They took me back too.
They took-
so
they-
that-
they-
they let me come back.
That's
so.
true. What is the most important thing you've learned since coming to Memphis Schools? As an administrator, as just as somebody in education?
One of the most important things is to basically to make sure you are out there and visible to all the stakeholders and the students and everything. I know we always try to make sure we're visible in the classroom, in the hallway, in the lunchroom, outside. It just makes sure people know that you're there and that you care.
I think it makes people feel a little safer when you see you there.
Exactly.
When they see the name tags and the ties, right?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Corbett, let's talk parking passes. We've got over 100 students parking in our parking lot every day. We've issued the most passes we have in at least the last 3 years. What do parents and students need to know about parking passes?
Well, the first thing is the cost of the parking passes. It is $10, and that is a refundable $10. So if we get our pass back, they get their $10 back at the end of the year. If we don't get our pass, well, then we keep the $10 because there is a cost that we had to put up for the new passes. We switched to the new ones that hang up in the rearview mirror. That way, if a student's car breaks down, they have to drive, their grandmas, their mothers, their sisters, their brothers. They can just slide into the new car and then drive it here to school. We're just trying to make sure that all of our students have passes. That way, we know what cars are out in our parking lot, and they're not just random cars out there.
Understandable. I like it. Safety first, right?
Yep.
We talked about that earlier. How about entry and exit doors? Where are these students supposed to come in? Where are they supposed to go out? Let's make sense of some of that.
Well, it's another safety thing. We want to make sure students are going out certain doors. There's lots of doors here at school, and that's for fire reasons. Okay, that's that way we have lots of exits. But during the day, we want students to enter and exit in the main entrances. So the main entrance by the high school, main entrance by the junior high, and then entrance 8 in the back where parents can pick up and drop off their children. The main reason why I want them to use those specific doors is so that way we don't have students going out just random doors, and sometimes those doors do not close all the way. So if we have a door that's not closed all the way, that's a safety issue. Anybody can come in that door at any time and possibly vandalize our school at night. The possibilities are endless, but we just want to make sure for safety that students are using the same doors and that they're closed and that they're checked.
So in the front, they're using doors 1 and 2. In the
Yep.
back, they're using door 8.
That is correct.
Perfect. I love it. Tell me about hats. Hats at Memphis. I know that's a big deal. What are we doing about hats?
Well, it's kind of more, hats were voted on by our staff, and they very generously allowed students to wear hats throughout the entire school day now. The rule used to be that they had to take them off when they were in classes. Our staff voted to change that rule to where they can wear them inside the classroom now. The only other problem is that now students seem to want to wear hoods all the time. But again, hoods were not a part of hats. They are different. They need to make sure that they're not wearing them at all in school, and that they are making sure that they're keeping them down so that way we can see who they are.
So tell me why. So no hoods because of what reason?
Again, another safety issue. I know in the lunchroom when I have a kid with a hood up, I can't always right away tell who it is. If they have a hat on, usually I can have a better chance of telling who they are. If they have a hood up, there's a safety issue of not knowing who that person is.
Well, thank you, Mr. Corbett. I appreciate you being here. One last question before you leave. What is your favorite sports team out there right now?
Favorite sports team? I'm gonna have to go with Notre Dame. Fighting
Notre
Irish.
Dame, the Fighting Irish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Mr. Rickard, did you expect that answer?
Yes, I did.
You did. You knew that.
hmm
I did not
He
know that
wears
about
the
him.
shirts a lot, and in his office, he's got a big picture of the stadium there.
Stadium. So Mr. Corbett, since Notre Dame's your favorite, you're talking Notre Dame football,
Yes,
basketball?
Notre Dame football is my favorite.
Have you been out there to the stadium out there?
I've actually been out there twice. I just recently went this past fall. I took my mom for her birthday. She's always been a huge Notre Dame fan and always wanted to kind of see the campus, so I figured I'd take her out there and show her around.
Now, the biggest question I guess here is, did you get a picture with touchdown Jesus?
Of course.
That's the most important thing, right?
Yep.
Mr. Corbett, thank you for being here today. I appreciate
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Crawford.
Have a great evening.
Yep. You too.
See you later. Well, we've reached a portion of our show where we'd like to talk to our audience and see if they have any questions for us. So I'd like to turn it over to our audience for our first question of the morning.
When's the talent show?
Talent show will take place on March 13th at 7 p.m. Auditions are going on this week. Make sure you come. Even if you're not in the talent show, you're going to want to come to see what your classmates can do. And it's not every day that a high school or middle school student gets to see their principal play with his band. Mr. Carafa's band will be at the talent show performing for whoever's in attendance. So it's going to be.
It should be a big event. We've been practicing a lot, Mr. Rickard.
Okay.
We've been practicing a lot, but I'm more excited to see the student talent that we have here at Memphis. You know, the question's always asked, does Memphis have talent? And we believe we do. So come out to the talent show. That's going to be on Friday, March 13th. Another question from the audience?
When is tutoring for someone that always has trouble with math?
For someone who has trouble with math, English, science, social studies, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're having trouble, we offer tutoring 2 times a week here at Memphis. On Wednesdays from 3 to 4 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. So we always have a certified teacher in here to help out in those situations. So if you are struggling in one of those areas or you just want to get caught up with your homework, tutoring at Memphis, Wednesdays from 3 to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
Even if it's something where maybe you're not struggling, but you missed a few days, because I know there's obviously all sorts of colds and the flu going around, and you want to catch up on your homework, that's a great thing to do, a real responsible decision to come in and work on your homework and get caught up.
That's true. That's true. Mr. Rickard, have you ever worked one of those homework sessions?
I haven't yet. I was thinking about it though.
You know, you should probably do that. I think you should. I think you'd like it. What about snow days? We haven't had many snow days lately. What's going on with that?
No, but the Twitterverse has been getting on our Memphis Junior Senior High. I think the roads have been fine lately.
Yeah.
But I came from a district where we didn't have nearly as many snow days as we do here, so I'm still waking up some days wondering if we're going to have school or not, but luckily we do. I'd rather be here because otherwise I fall behind as a teacher and everything gets kind of screwed up.
Yeah.
But it is fun to have a snow day every once in a while.
I like it too. But again, it's got to be some treacherous conditions out there because here at Memphis we like to be in school every day and learn a lot of good stuff. So, any other questions in the audience here?
Yes. Every year we do this at last minute, the praying at the pole in September.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm not prepared or I don't give you guys warning. So I guess my question is there some type of flyer that my kids can prepare as students in Memphis and hand out? Is that something we can publicly advertise, or is this something like we just show up at the pole and pray every 3rd week of September?
You know, that's a good question. Separation of church and state. It's a very, very controversial topic all the time. But here at Memphis, we've been very open to allowing the prayer at the pole, where we know our students are involved in the church. Many of our staff members are as well. And so we do allow that to happen. I think all that we would ask is that you come stop by the office or give us a call and say, hey, this is when I want to do it. We make sure everything is good on those dates. And as far as flyers and things, we're more than welcome to have a little cutout of flyers or something like that on our desk in the main office for students that are interested. That's definitely, it's part of the community, and a lot of our students have strong faith, so that's something we definitely support.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other audience questions here while we're here? Looks like that might be all the questions we have for today, and that wraps up our segment on audience participation. Well, that concludes this episode of Coffee with the Principal. I want to thank all of my guests that were here today. I want to thank Mr. Rickert for being my co-host and my sidekick today. Mr. Rickert, it wasn't as bad as you thought, was it?
Oh, it was pretty bad.
It was.
No, I'm kidding. Thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it.
No problem. I want to thank our students of the month as well, all of our audience for their participation. And I want to let you all know that the next Coffee with the Principal will be on Monday, March 9th at 6 p.m. I have some more details for you coming on that. We hope to see you on March 9th at 6. Thanks for watching, everybody.